Once upon a time, nestled deep within the emerald hills and dense jungles of Nagaland, India, stood the towering Mount Totsu. Unlike the gentle slopes and welcoming trails of other mountains, Mount Totsu loomed like a guardian cloaked in shadow and mystery, its very presence an enigma to the people living in its foothills. This mountain was more than mere rock and soil. It was a place of power, a sacred peak that housed creatures and spirits long feared and respected by the local Rengma tribe. For generations, the Rengma people have held Mount Totsu in deep reverence, viewing it as the realm of supernatural protectors. According to the ancient lore passed down from elders, Mount Totsu was guarded by two formidable beings, a colossal snake and a giant crab. These creatures were unlike any animal found in the wild. They were spirits bound to the mountain, tasked with watching over its slopes and cliffs and ensuring that any who dared to enter respected its sanctity. To the Rengma, the snake and the crab were not mere myths or figments of imagination, but sacred guardians as real as the rocks beneath their feet and the trees in their forests. The snake was said to be as old as the mountain itself, its scales the color of midnight, shimmering with an eerie, otherworldly glow. Its eyes, they said, were as red as the setting sun. And when it coiled around the ancient rocks of Totsu's summit, it could summon storms, its hiss filling the valleys with a warning that echoed for miles. The crab, on the other hand, was said to dwell near the mountain's cliffside, a creature of immense size, its pincers sharp enough to carve through stone. Together, the snake and the crab formed a formidable duo, the ultimate protectors of the mountain's mysteries. The elders taught that Mount Totsu and its guardians demanded respect. The mountain was not to be climbed without purpose, nor its stones and soil disturbed without proper reverence. When venturing close, hunters, gatherers, or travelers from the Rengma tribe would make offerings at the mountain's edge, whispering prayers and performing ceremonial cries to announce their presence. These ceremonial calls were not merely out of tradition, but a way of seeking permission, a cry of peace to let the mountain spirits know that the visitor came with respect, not with greed. It was said that those who respected the mountain's guardians would find their journey blessed, while those who ignored the traditions would risk facing the wrath of the protectors. To the Rengma, these stories were not just cautionary tales, but warnings grounded in truth. Time and again, tales of those who dared to disregard the rules of Mount Totsu ended in disaster. Stories that spread fear and awe among the people and served as a reminder of the mountain's power. One of the most chilling stories told by the Rengma was about a group of explorers who came to Mount Totsu in search of adventure. Unlike the locals, they did not believe in the legends of the mountain. They saw Totsu as just another peak to conquer, a mere challenge to be bested. Ignoring the warnings of the villagers, they set off one misty morning, their laughter and shouts echoing through the forest as they climbed higher and higher. The Rengma watched from below, offering prayers for the mountain to show mercy upon the outsiders. But as the explorers climbed, an ominous silence fell over Mount Totsu. The sounds of birds and animals faded away, replaced by an unsettling stillness. The explorers, who had begun their journey with confidence, found themselves feeling uneasy. Shadows seemed to move in the mist, and strange sounds echoed from the cliffs, like the whisper of a snake or the scrape of giant claws. One by one, the explorers began to feel a deep sense of dread, as if the mountain itself was watching them. According to the legend, as the explorers reached a rocky outcrop halfway up the mountain, they suddenly saw it. A massive shape moving through the fog, scales gleaming as it slithered over the rocks. It was the snake, its body stretching far longer than any creature they had ever seen, its red eyes glowing with an ancient fury. The explorers froze, terrified, as the snake hissed, a sound so loud and deep it seemed to shake the ground beneath them. In that instant, the mist parted, revealing the edge of the cliff where, just beside the snake, crouched the giant crab. Its its pincers snapping with an ominous rhythm. Overwhelmed by fear, the explorers tried to flee, scrambling down the slope as the snake and crab watched, their eyes unblinking and filled with a silent warning. But the mountain was unforgiving. Loose rocks gave way underfoot, and in their panic, some of the explorers stumbled, falling into the abyss below. Those who made it back to the village returned with tales of horror, their faces pale, their voices shaky, as they recounted their encounter with the guardians of Mount Totsu. And though they had escaped, they were forever marked by their experience, a reminder of the power and wrath of the mountain's protectors. The Rengma elders took this tale as yet another confirmation of what they had always known, that Mount Totsu was not to be taken lightly. Its secrets were not for the curious or the bold. They were mysteries meant only for those who approached with respect and humility. Over time, these tales grew into legends, passed down from generation to generation, each story adding layers to the rich tapestry of Mount Totsu's folklore. Even today, the Rengma people continue to honor Mount Totsu through rituals and ceremonies. They offer food and flowers at the mountain's edge, lighting incense and chanting ancient prayers, asking for protection and favor. Hunters who venture close still perform the ceremonial cries, announcing their presence, seeking permission as they had for centuries. The elders teach the young to respect the mountain, to remember the stories of the guardians, the snake and the crab, and to understand that some places are not meant for conquest, but for reverence. To those who visit Nagaland and hear of Mount Totsu, the mountain stands as a testament to the power of tradition and the mysteries of nature. It is a place where the line between myth and reality blurs, where the stories of the past live on in the hearts of the people. The mountain's guardians remain, unseen yet ever present, a reminder of the respect owed to the land and the beings that dwell within it. And so Mount Totsu endures, its secrets safe under the watchful eyes of the snake and the crab, its legends whispered in the wind that sweeps through the valleys and forests of Nagaland. It is a place of mystery, a sacred peak that challenges any who approach to remember. Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, some legends to be left undisturbed, and some places are forever guarded by those who protect them, unseen but ever vigilant. As night falls over Nagaland and the stars illuminate Mount Totsu, the mountain stands in silence, its stories alive in the hearts of the Rengma people, its mysteries untouched, waiting for those who might one day venture too close, only to discover that some legends are far more real than they could ever imagine.